Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Maika and today we are going to be talking again about new makeup releases and the things that have sparked my interest. And this month I don't have that much for you. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 things. I feel that is far less than what I usually have to talk about. So to me, there just wasn't a lot that I saw on the socials coming by, like this is going to be released. I was like, yeah, I need to get it. I'm not sure. So shall we just get cracking? Because I think that's the best thing to do, right? So let's talk about the first item, and that is one that I have purchased. This is the Urban Decay Wired Eyeshadow Palette, and this was one that was released or announced right when right after I had filmed my other video last month. Like seriously, I think I recorded that video the day before this was announced, and I was like, I would have loved to have featured it in there. Yes, I already did pick this up. I never bought the Urban Decay Electric palette because I felt that that had 3 blues that looked identical to me, and I feel this has a bit more variety, which is why I'm intrigued. That mint green called Fluorescent. Oh my heart, it looks stunning in real life. It does have a couple of repeat shades from the original Electric palette. I believe Slow Burn, Savage, Gravity, Chaos. Those were all, maybe also Shock. Those were all already in the original Electric. So maybe if you still own that and the quality of yours is still okay, you may not need this. But then again, if you would like to have an update and you liked some of the shades that were in there, you may want to check this out. I definitely did because it's Urban Decay. It isn't very big though. It's I should have brought it up here, but it's still in its packaging. It's still nicely wrapped. I haven't had time yet to sit down and take pictures of it. So that's my first task, hopefully on Thursday. And then I can hopefully start using it, and maybe I can already review it for you before the end of the month. Who knows? Visiart is coming out with a new palette. It's called the Paris Edit. And I think this looks like a really stunning neutral palette. I like how Visiart is now also doing smaller palettes that have a mix of shimmers and mattes. This has all the rosy and plummy tones that I personally love. It looks really nicely cool toned. So I do have to say that this one definitely had me do a double take. Like, wait, what? Like it. I think you're a bit crooked. Hold on. Yeah, you were a bit crooked. So I adjusted the angle a little bit. So yeah, this is just cool toned heaven, I think. It has a couple of warm tones, but that darker plum and like that pinky tone in the left-hand side of the palette, I like the look of that, but yeah, it's not something that I necessarily need per se. I have a lot of that already in my collection. And the same goes for the new Colorpop You Are a Cutie eyeshadow palette. I feel this has very similar shades to the Visiart one. It's like, wait, what? Colorpop, did you just like make this ASAP after Visiart announced it? Because this has very similar shades in it. It was exclusive to Ulta.com first, but it also is available at Colorpop.com by now. I think that if you like the look of the Visiart, but you don't want to spend that kind of cash, go for the Colorpop one. This, and also the Flutter By palette, I believe. I remember eyeing those up when I did a Colorpop order, and I was like, Maika, you already own so many neutral palettes, you don't need any more. So I put a stop to that, but yeah, that's just something that does spark my interest. That like grayish purple, yeah, I can see myself using that. Then a new release from BH, and it's blush. These seem to be blush palettes with 4 shades each. Some of them have shimmer, some of them have matte in, and I think you get a mixture of both of them in the same palette. These look really cute. It's just that if you are going to stay tuned and watch my makeup declutter that's going to go live in a few weeks with my blushes and all that and face palettes, then you know I never use face palettes, so I definitely don't need these. because I know I won't reach for them, even though, which is the one? The truffle one, vanilla cream truffle. Ooh, that looks nice. Those are really my shades, like these really muted neutrally shades. My heart. These look stunning, but not something I need. Then Milani Cosmetics also announced a new release for Valentine's Day, which was the Millennial Pinks eyeshadow palette. And I don't know if you're noticing, but Melt's releases all seem to link together. Just make sure you have a look at, if you put them all like in a train, like behind each other, then you will find that those dark blues complement really well with the blues and the teals in the Muerte palette, I think. It's just that, as with the Vita palette, which I don't own either, I like half of this palette and the other half I know I just wouldn't use. Like those lightest shades on the end with like the peach and the cream and also this like rosy pink. I have those a million times over in my collection. It would really be those four like mints and light blues and dark blues on the end of this palette. That is really where, like, that's what I really am digging. Like that's my jam. But the rest of this palette, I wouldn't see myself use, so that's why I'm going to pass up on this one. Then this is a brand I hadn't heard of, but I think I just like the way these shades seem to look. It's like a lot of the neon shades from the Huda Beauty palettes went and had a baby. But this time, if the swatches are anything to go by, with much better pigmentation. This is by Poppy Cosmetics. I think this is indie, and this is the Neon Drip palette. And I mean, if we have to go neon, can we please have something like this? I think this looks really, really stunning. You get some really nice like limey greens, but I do feel it is again quite warm toned, but yeah. And I think I have shades like this in other palettes, so I don't really need it. But this one is very tempting because I do really, like, I don't own a lot of neon eyeshadows. So if these truly are neon, then it would be nice. But I haven't heard anybody else really talking about this at all. So I'm not sure if this is any good or whether these swatches are anything to go by. I wouldn't know. So I would have to look into whether I could even buy this. Like, I don't even know. Sugarpill is coming out with the capsule collection, and this palette, you guys, I'm not even sure what to make of it. Like, it just seems very haphazard, and I'm not sure if this is supposed to contain shades they already do or not, or because they look very similar to things Sugarpill already has in their line, and this one just has me confused. The packaging, I think, is atrocious. Like, this is just not up my street. It just seems a bit gimmicky. Sorry. Then there is a new Catrice limited edition coming with Disney theme, and it features a Minnie Mouse and a Daisy Duck eyeshadow palette. I haven't heard anything about this yet. Like, Catrice has been churning out new products over here. I just posted them. So when this is supposed to come, nobody knows. It doesn't have a release date yet. It has a full range of new lipsticks, it seems, and palettes, and nail polish. If I can find this, I would definitely the lipsticks and the eyeshadow palettes. If I can find these, I will track them down and buy them and review them for you, because I think this will be a very fun video to do. And I think this looks stunning. And if these eyeshadow palettes are anything like what Catrice has been doing in recent times, then they are pretty decent too. And these lipsticks seem to be matte, which is also up my street. So yeah. I'm intrigued, Catrice. I'm intrigued. Then we have Jeffree Star's Bloodlust palette. This was, of course, the release of the month, I think, and I didn't buy it yet. And I am intrigued, but I'm actually holding off because I first want to see this in person. And that's because the first 6 shades in this palette look identical to me. in swatches that I've seen, they look identical. They seem to be more like toppery shades. So they look like toppery kind of shades, and to me, I don't know. I just think it's very big and bulky packaging. I own the Blue Blood, which I really, really like, but because it's so bulky and it doesn't even fit into my storage, I don't really know where to put it. And this is velvet, and if you put this on display, it's just going to be a dusty mess. So I know that I wouldn't use it, but that red metallic, oh boy. And that teal, you know how I feel about teal, love that. That periwinkle shade, lovely too. And for a Jeffery Star palette, it only seems to have like 2 or 3 neutrals, which I like because the blood sugar, yes, the blood sugar I felt had too many neutrals. So that's why I never picked that one up. So this doesn't seem to have too many neutrals, but it does have a lot of shades that are very samey, which is a shame. So I would want to see this in person first. It seems to be really big and cumbersome. So if a palette is too big, I know I won't use it. So I am holding off on it. I definitely do like the look of it, but I don't need it. Then we have the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. This, of course, was announced, and everybody's been trying it out, loving it. I think that in terms of color story, this is very on trend. We saw a lot of these like pink and purple sort of palettes being released in January and February, and this palette is definitely sort of up that sort of shade range. I saw Beauty News destroying this and swatching it already. It seems to be really, really pretty, but I don't need this. And the reason why I don't need this is because I own the Violet Voss hashtag palette. And while it doesn't have those really bright pinks, I already own those kind of shades in other palettes, let's be honest. But that palette has purples, yellows, and oranges with a couple of neutrals. It's smaller than this, and I just think that I might very easily be able to do very similar looks, especially with like that left half of the palette with like the purples and the yellows and the oranges. It's missing the pinks and the reds, but like I said, I have those shades in other palettes, so I could very easily do very similar looks with things I already have in my collection, so I feel I don't need this. Plus, you know, Morphe palettes I find way too big, way too big. Then a new product by Too Faced. They're coming out with the Sun Puppy Bronzer, which is again dog shaped, and the limited edition palette, like the compact is limited edition, but not the bronzer itself, it seems. It does contain 14 grams of product, which is a lot. And I'm not sure if it comes in different shades. It doesn't say. It does have like models with different skin tones, but I think they're marketing this as a one bronzer fits all. And those are usually too yellow and too dark and too muddy on me. So I definitely won't be picking this up, but I also don't really care about the Clover the dog that Jared Blandino owns. Like, I don't care. So I don't, like, I get it from a Too Faced perspective. I get this release, but I don't need it. I have plenty of other bronzers, by the way, that I still love. And then Milani Cosmetics is coming out with a Salt and Pepper limited edition collection, it seems. And you know what? I'm a 90s kid. Like, I grew up in the 90s. I remember Salt and Pepper's Push It being like the song on the radio, which I'm not sure how appropriate it is to listen to that when you're 8 years old. But still, it was the early 90s. The rules were different. And this seems okay. I don't think I'll be able to pick this up because by the time this comes to the Netherlands, like, the hype will have died down, I'm pretty sure. So this is not one that I feel I need, but I think it's cool. I just think it's a cool idea. And then I like this one. What's this? Oh yeah, more skincare by Fourth Ray Beauty called The Daily It seems to come with an eye cream and a moisturizer. I just picked up a 4th Ray Beauty face milk when I placed a Colorpop order because they had money off of their entire website, so I wanted to try that. And so far I have used it once or twice and it seems to be doing okay. So if that goes really well for me, I may be pretty interested in picking up the skincare. I like trying out moisturizers by brands. So this could be something that in the future, when I do another Colorpop order and they have some sort of like deal on their entire website, then I might pick it up. Am I dark? I'm not too dark, right? I'm not too dark. Then Urban Decay is coming out with the new Inked Brow. I think this is supposed to be some sort of like tattoo brow kind of brush on thing. I mean, my brows, all they need is a bit of filling in and a bit of brow gel, and then they do this. So I don't think I need this, but I think this is really great if you don't have much of a brow going on naturally and you want to fake it till you make it. This may be like the next thing in brows from Urban Decay that we used to rave about with like the brow pomade by Anastasia. I think it could be something like this. Then something I was very intrigued by is a new priming spray by Smashbox. And I don't talk about Smashbox a lot on my channel, but we can get it. And it's just, Smashbox has these like all-rounder, like workhorse kind of products that I feel they do best. And it's not always something I'm interested in because it doesn't always suit my skin needs. But this is the Vitamin Glow Primer with vitamins B, C, and E. And I don't know why, but this just really sounds like something that I would like. It's $39. Like, Smashbox is quite expensive for what you get sometimes. Like, I tried a little version of the Primerizer by Smashbox, and I liked it, but I like my Catrice Fresh It Up Primer just as much, and that's like 1/10 of the price. What's going on there? So, this, I am intrigued by this, but I would like them to do like a travel size so I can try it first before I commit to a full bottle of priming spray, because I don't really use priming sprays either, so that's why I'm a bit about this one. Then Benefit's Georgia Blush. And they're saying this is new, but they are also admitting that it is back with a new and improved shade, a Golden Peach Blush. I still have the one that I bought years ago. This was discontinued. This seems to now be darker than what it used to be like. And this now also comes in like one of those like cheekathon like face palettes that Benefit also does. It just seems to be a lot more peachy than what I remember my Georgia to be like. It could be interesting because I still have the old one if I could find this in store to compare the two. It seems to come in a mini, so I could definitely try it. What do you think? Should I do that? Should I buy it just to sort of make a comparison between the old and the new? Because it used to be light enough for me to be a face powder. Benefit's Georgia powder I used to use as a face powder, you guys. So I think it's a lot darker by now, though. Then MAC has a Fix Plus limited edition Petal Power. It's available in the UK and in Asia. Seems to be coming to other places as well. I still have a Fix Plus that I use, and that's fine. But those mineralized skin finishes, those seem pretty. But I don't think I need this per se. Then Dior is coming out with an extension to their Backstage line. This is the eyeshadow palette in Rosewood, and the Backstage original palette was pretty, but it was a bit neutral. This is very much like the visiart and the Colorpop palettes I already featured in today's video. It's very much in that same vein. It seems to be either super bright like pinks and purples or neutrally rosy tones. That seems to be the thing right now. It's like two completely different ends of the spectrum. This is nice, but I really don't need this because, again, I feel I have these shades a million times over in my collection already. And then this is the last thing I want to feature here, the new Huda Beauty Pastel Obsessions. You guys, you know, I have I just have a weak spot, like a weakness for these little Huda Beauty palettes. The mint one looks really nice. The lilac one looks nice. The rose one looks nice, but it has those two yellows, which I'm not sure. The lilac and the mint are probably most up my street, but I actually just got the Anastasia Volume 3 Mini Norvina palette, and I think it has very similar shades to this. It has like those minty and like cherry shades, and it has some purples too, I believe. I have the Colourpop Lilac Hue a lot. I have the Colourpop Mint to Be, so I don't need these. I really don't need these. Like, if I look at the pans, it looks more interesting than in the swatches. These I would have to see in real life, and then I might still pick up one of them, which is ultimately what I did with the neons. Like, those also looked really intriguing in pictures, but then in real life, when you started swatching them, there were a bit not that much of a good thing. And what I find confusing with these ones, especially with the lilac and the mint, is that there seem to be oranges in both of them that are very similar between the two, and that I feel don't really go with the other shades in the palette. Like, I don't get the obsession with these warm tones. Like, if that mint palette, instead of those two oranges, had like a cool tone chocolate brown and like a mid-tone version of that, then this palette would have worked a lot better for me. Like, then it would have just appealed to me so much more. But that's just me. So those are all of the new makeup releases that I wanted to chat about in this video. Please let me know in a comment down below if there was anything that you picked up. I would love to know. And then without further ado, please stay tuned. I have 3 videos coming your way every single week, plus 1 video a week on my BookTube channel. So stay tuned if you'd like to see more by me. For now, if you'd like to thumbs up this video because you liked it, that would be great too. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.